just started about, okay, what are various function, I mean what are various data structures are there, we covered already, sir. Okay, now, sir, let me talk about the next level concept, functions concept. Okay, so these things are almost data structures, basic fundamentals, the basics of Python almost got completed, right? So now the next cinema, what we require to talk, sir, functions. Functions, packages, modules, these kind of general terminology we have to discuss, right? A bit the next level related terminologies, right? Remember that. Suppose, do you know most of the people who are coming from other languages, most of the people who may aware at least one programming language. Okay, just generally, suppose in my program, assume that I want to find, I want to find, sir, some code repeatedly required. Assume that, sir, line 1, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Okay, like, sir, these 100 lines of the code repeatedly required. Assume that it's repeatedly required, right? Sir, in the tester.py, okay, whatever Python program, up to this, what we did is, do you know, sir, what I did is, I wherever that functionality is required, write that. Okay, write that. Sir, once again that functionality is required, yes, write that. Are you getting? Again that functionality is required, write that. Again that functionality is required, write that. Then automatically the biggest problem here is duplicate code. Correct or not? The biggest problem in this code is duplicate code. Correct or not? Okay, so here just take a bit very special care, sir. The same functionality, assume that this functionality is doing reading employees data and inserting into the database. Assume that, sir, reading employees data, reading employee data, and insert into database. Okay, so reading first employee data, insert. Reading second employee data, insert. Reading third employee data, insert. Read fourth employee data, insert. Sir, if I'm writing the same code multiple times, unnecessary duplicate code, unnecessary duplicate code, and the length of the code is going to increase, readability by default is going to be down. Correct or not? Okay, sir, what I can do, sir, instead of that, what I can do is, sir, this code we can define inside a function. Regarding this code, we can define inside a function, we can call that function wherever this code is required. Regarding, just observe that this is the approach 1. Sir, instead of this, I want to go for what I will take here is, just I'm taking some f1. Okay, sir, listen a bit carefully how to define the function and so on, that thing I will take care. Sir, now this is f1. Assume that, sir, under f1 all these things I took, sir. Wherever this functionality is required, just call f1. Just call f1, automatically that functionality by default is going to execute or not? Yes, we are not required to write these 100 lines of the code every time. Such a type of best reusable component is nothing but function concept. Everyone can able to understand, right? Such a type of best reusable component is nothing but function concept. Are you getting? Sir, can you spell out what is the function? What is the function? Function is a group of lines. Regarding function is a group of lines. A group of lines. Observe that. So this function, sir, how many times I'm writing the function? Anyone can you please tell? How many times I'm writing the function? Only one time. Only one time. But how many times I can call that function? How many times I can call that function? Any number of times. Regarding any number of times. So means function is the best reusable component. Remember that, sir. Okay, the main advantage of functions is code reusability. Remember that, sir. In other languages, maybe in Java, some other languages, sometimes I may use these functions, yeah, methods. Next and after that, you know, methods, procedures, next subroutines. Are getting subroutines? Some other names by default will be there, but in Python we are always going to use the word what? Function. Of course, at certain point we can use the word method also, but when we are going to use the word method, that part I'm going to take care. Don't worry about that. Up to this is the clear for all of it, right? So very simple. In a single word, what is the function? Function is a group of statements. What is the main advantage of function? Code reusability is the biggest advantage of function. Are you getting right? Sir, what is the main advantage of function? Code reusability is the biggest advantage of function. Remember that, sir. Sir, now, sir, in Python, how many types of functions are there? There are two types of functions are available in Python, sir. Remember this one. How many types of functions are available, sir? Two types of functions. One is inbuilt functions. Inbuilt Python inbuilt functions are predefined functions. Are you getting? Predefined functions are this is the first category. Predefined functions also known as inbuilt functions. Are you getting? Predefined functions also known as inbuilt function. Second one is user defined or our own functions, right? Okay, user defined functions, like, remember that. So in Python, how many types of functions are available, sir? Two types. One is Python will provide some inbuilt function. Happily we are allowed to use, right? Okay, but user defined functions are nothing but our own functions, right? So total how many types of functions are available? Two types, right? Clear for all of it, right? Yes, sir. Now take a bit very special care, sir. In Java we are not having any functions related concepts, sir. Yes, Omkar. In Java functions related word is not there. In Java we are always going to use only one word, method. But in Python we have functions are there, even methods also there. But what is the difference? Somewhere I covered, but still I will repeat once again whenever time comes. But anyway, as of now, whatever function in Python functions are allowed. Sir, how many types of functions are available, sir? There are two categories are there, two types are there. Built-in functions, or otherwise, sir, your inbuilt or predefined functions or user defined functions, right? Can you please tell built-in functions, sir? Any example for built-in function or predefined function? Yes, man. We use it several, man. We use it several. Anyone, can you please tell some built-in functions? Print function, do you know? We use it multiple times, man. Length function, we use it. Eval function, next and after that input function, next id function. Are getting id? Yeah, id to find address, like, next and after that sorted function, like dot. There are several functions are available. Python itself provide, there are several inbuilt functions are available. Okay, like this thing is nothing but functions, right? Inbuilt function. But based on our requirements, is it possible to create my own functions or not? Why not, man? Happily we are allowed to declare our own functions also, no problem at all. Such type of, sir, programmer created functions are called, sir, user defined functions. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, such type of functions are by default considered what? User defined functions. Okay, how to declare user defined functions, how you can use those user defined functions, compulsory we should aware, sir. Okay, sir, now just how you can able to do, sir? I want to define a function. Very simple, sir. Just observe that def. Remember this one, sir. Which keyword I require to use? Can you please spell out which keyword I require to use? Def is the keyword. Next, you have to specify, sir, function name. Okay, I'm taking some wish function. Assume that, sir. Def wish function name, and then if any parameters are there, you can pass. Next, here we have to take the body of the function. It may contain one line or multiple lines anyway. So this is the body. Sir, at last, if you want, you can return, sir, function can return something. If you want that return statement also, you can able to take some return, sir, some return, return some 10, something like a return some 10, like you can able to return some value, no problem at all. A function can able to return also, right? Clear, sir? How you can able to define the function? Basic idea, sir. Only two predefined keywords we require to use if you want to define our function. Can you please tell what is the first predefined keyword? Yes, man. What is the first predefined keyword? Def. Is it mandatory or not? Yes, if you want to define a function, def itself is mandatory, man. Sir, a function can return some value. Can you please tell return statement is the mandatory or optional? Return statement is the mandatory or optional? Return may return or may not return. That's why return is optional. Okay, like, sir, next, it's always a good programming practice. To provide some comments related to this function. How you can able to define comments related to that function is top comments, right? Okay, Sir, here like how many sir double quotes I'm taking, sir? Three times. Three times I'm taking, sir. Observe that, sir. This function, okay, written by Durga, just to implement wish functionality, to implement wish functionality, something like I'm taking, sir. Implement wish functionality, okay, like sir, that's all. This is about what we call doc string. Regarding this is about doc string, right? Sir, if you want, you can able to get the doc string and so on. In the next session, somewhere we can able to do. Sir, just to provide information about that function, we can able to write a doc string. Okay, remember. Sir, now I want to wish. Sir, I want to wish a person. Then automatically just I'm taking print of good morning. Are you getting like a print of good morning, anyway, good evening, good evening, like this I'm taking, sir. Okay, sir, now the function is ready. Are you getting? Now the function is ready, sir. Like you can write n number of statements, no problem at all. Don't feel that only one statement, two statements, like any number of statements you can able to write. Sir, now can I call this function? Yes, ma'am. Can I call this function? Possible or not? Yes, sir. Happily you can call that function. That's all, sir. This total thing is nothing but function declaration. Sir, I declare a function. Now this one is by default considered as function call. Okay, like if I can take like this. Now let me go for okay, sir, here py tested py I'm taking. Yes, here just name your fun is not defined. Can you please observe that? Here wish is the function. Sir, name is wish. Remember that. Sir, now just observe that. Yes, good evening, like it's going to print whatever the body you are taking. Happily that body by default is going to be executed, right? Okay, sir, what is the next terminology? What is the next terminology? Can I call any number of times or not? Yes, any number of times you can call. Sir, every time it's going to print, it's going to execute the body. Sir, now my question is, how many times I'm writing a function? Respond, man. How many times I'm writing a function? Yes, only once, sir. But how many times I'm calling that function? Multiple times, sir. Sir, can I assume if a function concept is not there, then this body I require to take multiple times, unnecessary duplicate code. That's why function is the best reusable component. Function is the best reusable component in the function itself is nothing but best reusable component, right? Remember that. Clear? Are you able to understand, right? Okay, that's all. This is related to functions. Remember that, right? Okay, sir, some people are asking, sir, this doc comment, can I able to take outside of the function or not? If you can take outside of the function, it is nowhere related to the function, man. Sir, where it is going to accept or not, just observe that. Okay, accept, but make sure, sir, it is nowhere related to that function. Sir, within the function or within the class, we require to take. Just it's a normal string. It is nowhere related to the function. Yes, who asked this one? Praveen. Praveen, you are coming from Java, it seems. I'm sure. Yes, are you getting right? Yeah, in the Java, before the method or before class, we are going to declare. Correct, right? But here within that first line we are going to take. Even in classes also, doc string is always going to be there in the first line. Anyway, it is optional. Don't worry about that, sir. Optional, not mandatory. Okay, like clear? Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's all. This is about how you can write a function. What is function? What is the use of that function? If any person is asking what is the use of function, what is a function? Function is a group of statements which are required repeatedly. That group of statements is nothing but function. Next, what is the main advantage of function? What is the main advantage of function? Main advantage of function is, do you know what is the biggest advantage of function, sir? Can you spell out? Yes, code reusability. That's all, sir. Okay, sir. Now let me go for next terminology. Make sure, sir, you people should aware. Sir, now in Java or in other languages, sir, you know, we can pass parameters. Correct or not? We can able to pass parameters, sir. But here also, is it possible to pass parameters or not? Remember that. Yes, man, no problem at all. Happily, we are allowed to pass parameters also. Sir, what's my requirement? Is based on our requirement, you can pass the parameters, right? Sir, my requirement is, sir, write a function to take name of the student as input and print wish message by the name. Are you getting that? Array, good morning, and I want to take some name also. I want to take some argument also. How you can able to take, sir? Very simple, sir. Name. Are you getting? Very simple. Name. I'm taking name. Sir, this name you require to pass. Good evening, sir, comma, name I have to take. Are you getting? Hello, or otherwise, just let me change that. Sir, here I'm taking hello. Here I'm taking hello. Next and after that, name, hello, Durga, something like, sir, name, and then good morning, sir, good evening, something like I'm taking, sir. Sir, do you know good evening, something like I'm taking. That's all. Sir, now while calling, compulsory we have to pass some name, sir. Some name is the argument. Make sure, sir, what name I'm passing. Here, just observe that. What name I'm passing? Some Rishi. Okay, like I'm passing Rishi word. Okay, like happily it is going to work. No problem at all. Are you getting right? Hello Rishi, good evening, something like that. Are you getting right? Sir, if you want, you can pass some name. No problem. Sir, Vedanta. Okay, Vedanta like. Sir, happily, do you know? Hello Vedanta, good evening, something like it's going to get. So, is it possible to pass parameters or not? Yes, we can pass, no problem at all. Sir, sometimes some people may ask, sir, what is the difference between argument and parameter? Like, in general, sir, argument and parameter interchangeably you can use, no problem at all, sir. Okay, no problem at all. Interchangeably you can use. But generally, this one is a name is considered as parameter. Are you getting name? Sir, parameter, because this value may change from method call or function call to function call. And whatever the values we are passing, Rishi and Vedanta, these things are by default considered as arguments. But, sir, you are not required to worry that much level. Sir, interchangeably, you can use parameters and arguments concept, no problem at all. Clear? Are you able to get right? Okay, sir, how to define a function? How you can able to define a function? Next, how you can call that function? Even how you can able to pass some arguments or function with parameters? How you can able to do that? Clear, right? Sir, now I want a small another example, sir. Can you please write a function which can take some number as the argument and print square of that number and print square of that number? That's about my requirement, right? Sir, what I will take? Sir, DEF square it. Are you getting that? DEF square it function I'm taking, sir. R square function I'm taking. What I'm taking? Some x. Are you getting? Some x. Here, make sure, sir. Square function. I'm taking only x. One value, x square. Something like. What I have to take, sir? Print of. Are you getting? Print of. Sir, the square of. Can you spell out, sir? The square of x is the square of x is okay, like I'm taking, sir, the square of x is like I'm taking now. What is the code I require to write? Format the square of x is x into x. Everyone can able to understand, right? Yes, man. Any explanation is required? What is this format and so on? We use it several times, right? Sir, now I want to call square of 10 I'm taking, sir. Observe that, square of 10. The square of 10 is 100, okay? Like, now I'm taking the square of 20, okay? The square of 20 I'm taking. The square of 20 is 400, something like that. Everyone can able to understand that, okay? So this is about what is the square? What is the square function, right? Remember that, okay? Sir, next, what is the this is the basic idea. I hope everyone can able to understand that basic idea. Sir, make sure you people should aware. Sir, you can use what we call Ajit. You can use a double star, no problem at all. Double star means power. X power x. X power x is the different. X into x is the different. Star operator you can use Ajit, no problem at all. Acceptable, okay? Like this is about how to define a function, like you people should aware. Sir, now my question is it possible to use a return statement or not? Yes, man. Is it possible to use a return statement or not? Yes, function can take input values as parameters or argument and execute some business logic and returns the output to the caller as the return statement. Sir, I'm passing some values. This function is going to perform some operation and the result by default is going to return, no problem at all. How you can able to do that, sir? Sir, assume that I want to add two numbers. Are you getting? I want to add return two numbers, right? Add of a comma b. Are you getting? Add of a comma b. Sir, return what I have to take, sir? A plus b. Are you getting? Return a plus b. That's all, function completed, right? Now print of sir, the sum is just what I want to take, sir. You can call sir, here just you can take, sir, result is equal to, what is the function name? Add of 10 comma 20. Are you getting? Result is equal to add of 10 comma 20. Next, and after that, print of what I can take, sir, result. Oh, the sum is okay. Just I'm taking, sir, result like this is the just you are calling that return value I'm storing inside result. Just I'm trying to print some return value, right? Yes, no problem at all. The sum, sir, I don't want to use some result intermediate variable and so on. Sir, I want to take here only. No problem. Sir, add of 100 comma 200 like that. Is it valid or not? Respond. Is it valid or not? Yes, sir. What is the problem with that? Sir, that's all. The sum is the 30. The sum is the 300. By default, we are going to get. Sir, now everyone have the basic idea. What is the return statement? I mean, what is the function? How you can able to write the function, sir? Can you please summarize what is the syntax for the function? Def, and then function name. Okay, and then parameters, and then colon. Okay, compulsory colon. Function name compulsory colon. Sir, some business logic you can write, whatever logic you want. Next, and after that, return. Sir, return some result you can take. That's all. Here only two keywords we are going to use, right? So the first keyword is nothing but def. It is the mandatory keyword. Next, second keyword I'm using return. It is optional. Next, and after that, here colon. Next, parameters. Everything you people should aware clearly, right? Not required to keep much explanation about this terminology. That's all, sir. Okay, now, sir, my requirement is, sir, take a bit very special care. Sir, if we are not writing return statement, I'm not writing any return statement, sir, then what is the default return statement? What is the default return value? Remember that the default return value is always what? None. Remember that if you are getting return value as the none means that function won't return anything. Remember that, sir. Sir, just observe a bit very carefully, sir. Here I'm taking def f1. Sir, just a print of hello. Like this I'm taking, sir. Def f1, print of hello, like this I'm taking. Sir, now my question is, sir, just I'm calling f1. Then happily it's going to print hello, because just I'm calling. What is the output by default we are going to get, sir? Yes, hello by default is going to print. But now my requirement is, after calling this return, I want to print that return value. After calling that function, I want to print that return value. You never going to get any exception or something, because, sir, every function is going to return some value. If you are not writing explicitly, the default value is nothing but none. Sir, now observe that function hello will be printed, and then none is also by default will be there. Clear? Yes, man. Sir, any explanation is required? That's also in Java. If your method return type is the void, by mistake, if you are trying to print that method call, the inside SOP statement and so on, compile time method we are going to get. Okay, but here no such type of problem. If the function won't return anything, then the value we are going to get as none. None is the value, right? Okay, that's all. So now, can you please write a function? Yes, I want a small chota example. Write a function to check whether the given number is whether the given number is even or odd. Are you getting? I want to check whether the given number is even or odd. This is about my requirement, right? Okay. So what you can able to do is just familiar with the functions, right? Because it's a very common component what we are going to use. Remember, sir, even odd of some n. Please guide, sir. Please guide. Yes, ma'am. If n percentage 2 is equal to 0, what is the meaning of that? This one is nothing but even print. Okay, print number is even. Okay, like I'm taking, sir, number is even dot format what is that, sir? N. Okay, next here else I'm taking, sir. It is not if n percentage 2 is not 0. Not 0 means what? Odd number. Print. Okay, just I'm taking number is number is odd. Number is odd. Like I'm taking, sir. Sir, dot format n like this. Sir, any explanation is required? That's all. A simple function, sir, to check whether the given number is even or odd. It is going to confirm right now. Sir, let me call even odd. Even odd. Sir, 10 I'm passing. 10 I'm passing. What the answer? Array, what the answer? 10 I'm passing. 10 number is even or 10 is even number. Next and after that, if I'm passing 11 or if I'm passing 11 number is nothing but odd number. Are you getting? 11 number itself is nothing but odd number, like this, right? Okay, sir, just Yash, he is asking some doubt. Okay, he is asking some doubt. Sir, 10.5 I'm passing. Can you please observe what the answer by default we are going to get, sir? Observe that 10.5. 10.5 division operator is always going to work. 10.5 division operator is always, I mean, this is the modulo operator. Modulo operator can work either they what we call integer and the floating point both. Remember that. But the division operator is always going to work only floating point number. But modulo operator is going to work for both integer and modulo. Integer and floating point, no problem at all. 10.5 percentage to what about its value, sir? 10.5 percentage to what about its value? Just have a look once, sir. The output by default we are going to get is odd number only. Clear? Yes, man. Yes, I hope you can able to understand. Okay, like that's all, sir. This is what you should aware, right? Okay, like you can pass different values. What will happen? You can check, sir. That's all. So just how to write a function, that's about my requirement. Just you have to familiar with the syntaxes, right? So now write a function to find the factorial of given number. Are you getting? Sir, this is about my requirement. Write a function. Write a function to find factorial of given number. Are you getting? Given number, right? How you can able to find? How you can able to do that? Sir, I don't want to use any recursion, these kind of things. Remember that. I don't want to use any recursion, these kind of things. How you can able to do that? Very simple, sir. Very simple. How to find factorial, sir? If I can take 5 factorial 5. What is the answer, sir? 5 factorial I want to find. What is the answer? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Correct, right? 5 into 4 into 3. Just we have to multiply, right? Sir, very simple. If the number greater than or equal to 1, if the number is greater than or equal to 1, you can. Sir, very simple. If the number greater than or equal to 1, okay, sir, we have to keep on repeating. Otherwise, by default, result is always treated as result only. Just have a look once. Very simple, sir. You are not required to worry much, and don't use any recursion kind of thing. Sir, in the next session, somewhere I will discuss about the DEF factor of n I'm taking. Okay, sir, next result is equal to 1 I'm taking. Result is equal to 1 I'm taking, sir. Next, while n greater than or equal to 1. Sir, if the given number is greater than or equal to 1, what I have to take, sir? Result is equal to into anyone can you please tell result into n? Are you getting? Result is equal to result into n. Now n will become, sir, n minus 1. Okay, n will become n minus 1. Sir, very simple. If it is the 5, result is equal to result into 5, and then n value will become 4. Sir, 5 into 4, next 3, next 2, next 1, next whenever it is the 0, whenever n value is the 0, then automatically it will be stopped. Clear, right? Okay. Sir, now after completing, what I have to do, sir? Return result. That's all. This is about my logic, whatever I am followed, sir. Sir, now my requirement is just observe that, sir, the square or otherwise just a print of, just observe that fact of 4 I'm taking, sir. Fact of 4. or factor of 5 I'm taking. Sir, logic wise, any doubt? Can you please? Logic wise, any doubt? Yes, I don't want to use, that's what, Praveen, I don't want to use recursion. Okay, I told already. Sir, logic wise, any explanation is required? Very simple, sir. First what I'm taking, sir, assume that if I'm taking 5. Sir, result is 1. At the beginning, result is 1, sir. Now, n value is 5, assume. Then automatical result is equal to result into n. So, 1 into 5. Okay, well. And then n value will become 4. Again 4 is greater than or equal to 1. That's why result is equal to result into n. So the result into 4. Okay. Next, again n value will become 3. 3 greater than or equal to 1. So next and after that 2. Next and after that 1. Sir, whenever n is equal to 0, then it will be stopped and written the result. Okay, that's all. So just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 itself is nothing but what? Factorial of 5. Okay, have a look once. 120. Am I able to get right? Am I able to get right? Okay, that's all. This is what you people should aware. Next, while n is greater than or equal to 1, greater than 1 also acceptable, no problem at all. Because multiply with 1 itself is nothing but nothing. There is no change in the result. That's why while n greater than 1, if n is equal to 1, we are not required to continue. Something like you can able to take, sir. Okay, so that's all. This is about. Now what I want to take is, sir, it's a very simple, sir. What about my requirement is, sir, for I in range of 10. So for in the range of, sir, 1 to 6, I want it's going to take. Now the print of the factorial. Okay, the factorial of I is sir, like, sir, not the format of. Can you please tell what the first one? I. The factorial of first one is I, comma, sir, result is what I have to take? Factor of I, sir. That's all. Now observe. Now have a look once. What the answer by default you are going to get, sir? Yes, sir, this is what? 1 minute. Am I doing any mistake? Yes, here I hope one more. Yes. Regarding that, the factorial of 1 is 1, factorial of 2 is 2, 3 is 6, 4 is 24, and 5 is 120. Clear? Sir, not required to keep much explanation. That's all. It's simple. So now we are in a position to define how you can able to write a function, how a function can return the value, how you can call that function, right? Remember that. So now there is one biggest facility there, which is not available in other languages, right? What is that? Is in Java. Assume that in Java, a method can return how many values at a time? Yes, man. How many values at a time? Only one value. Correct or not? How many values at a time? Only one. A method can return only one value at a time. But in Python, a function can return multiple values also. Are you getting? Don't feel, sir, all those multiple values you are keeping inside a list. All those multiple are going to return. No, directly X, Y, Z, like you can able to return multiple values, no problem at all, sir. Okay, how you can able to do that? Just have a look once, sir. Sir, very simple. Sir, return, sir, just X I'm taking. Now instead of X, Y you can take, Z you can take, no problem. Any number of values we can able to take. Yes, some people are facing why it seems. 1 minute, it's a full signal. Yeah. Full signal. The other is a bit low signal. Let me continue. If anywhere the problem is, I will repeat once again. Don't worry, sir. Yeah, just take. Shivering voice. Yes. Yes. Sound error. Yes, sir. Yes. Can I? Is it understandable or it's a problem. Yeah, just please, sir. Yeah, I will do that. Just if you are facing the problem, ask me to repeat once again. I will do that. Don't worry, sir. Yeah. Here, just observe that return x, y, z. How many values? How many values I'm trying to return? Can you please tell? How many values I'm trying to return? Multiple values. 3 values I'm going to return. So if you call that function, sir, I'm calling f. Assume that this f1 function is going to return 3 values, right? Assume that a comma b comma c is equal to f1. Sir, first return value will be assigned to a. Second return value will be assigned to b. Third return value is going to be assigned to C, sir. Everyone can able to understand how beautiful facility, man. This type of facility is not there in our other languages like Java. Sir, at any point of time, a function can return only one value. But in Python, a function can return any number of values, no problem at all, sir. Okay? How you can able to do that? Very simple. Just have a look once, sir. I want to take a small DEF, sir, some sub. Okay, I want to find addition. I want to find subtraction also. Sir, a comma b I'm taking, sir. Sir, if you pass two values, now you require to return some value, you require to return subtraction value also. Sir, sum is equal to a plus b. Correct or not? Sum is equal to a plus b. Subtraction is equal to a minus b. Sir, now return, okay, return, sir, very simple. Return what we have to return, sir? Sum, next and after that sub. Okay, sum comma sub. How many values I'm trying to return? 2 values, right? Sir, instead of that, you can take return a plus b comma a minus b also. Yes, acceptable. Yes, sir. X y is equal to x comma y is equal to sum. Okay, sub. Sir, what I'm trying to take here just 100 comma 50 I'm taking, sir. That 100 comma 50. Print the sum. Print the what is this? X. Next and after that the sub. Subtraction is y value. Remember that, okay? So the sum is x value, the sub is y value. By default we will get. Now observe, sir, here take a bit very special care. How many values returning, sir? Here a function can return how many values, right? Multiple values we are going to return, man. Take a bit very special care. Multiple values we are going to return. Then let me execute this code. So the sum is 150 and the sum is 50. By default we are going to get. Clear? Any explanation is required? So a function can return multiple values or not? Yes. What is the problem? Happily we are allowed to take, sir. Now take a bit special care. One more example I want to take, sir. That's all. You can return any number of values, no problem at all, sir. D of calc is my function name. Okay, a comma b I'm taking. D of calc is my function name. Sir, sum is equal to plus b. Sum is equal to a plus b. Sub is equal to a minus b. Sub is equal to a minus b. Next time after that, sir, multiplication. Multiplication is equal to a into b. Next time after that, div is equal to a minus b. Regarding division is equal to, sorry, a by b. Division is equal to b. Like this I'm taking, sir. So that's all. This is all these things. Now can you please return all these things? Return sum you can return. Next time after that, sir, multiplication values you can like. How many return values are how many return values are there? 4 values are available, sir. Okay. Now, have you remember somewhere we covered we covered tuple packing and unpacking. Anyone remember tuple packing and unpacking? Sir, T is equal to a comma b comma c comma d. Are you getting? T is equal to a comma b comma c comma d. So this is nothing but what? All 4 values packing into tuple. R4 packing into tuple, sir. Okay. Now, sir, this is called packing. If you want, you can unpack also, no problem at all. Okay. Now what I'm taking, I want to use that approach, right? T is equal to sir calci of T is equal to calci of just I'm taking 100 comma 50 I'm taking sir. That's all. Now all those values will come into T. That's all. Now print of the results are. Are you getting? The results are. I'm taking sir. The results are. Sir for X in T for X in T print of X. Perfect. Are you getting that? Like sir. Now the what would if a function return multiple values, we can able to store into a tuple, and the result by default you are going to get sir. Now have a look once. Have a look one. The results are sir add is nothing but 150, minus is nothing but 50, multiplication is nothing but 5000, and the division is nothing but what 2.0. Clear? Yes, man. Any explanation is required? Up to this not required to keep any doubt at all. Now my question is, sir, is it tuple or list? Are you getting? Is it tuple or list? By default, this function is always going to return something. Sir, now let me print the print of how I can check, sir? Type of T. Type of T, sir. Print of type of T. Okay, like a type of T. Like, sir, observe what is the answer by default we are going to get? Tuple. So by default, function return values you can able to store inside a tuple. Okay, if you want a list, there is no default facility, right? If you want, you can able to convert that explicitly the return value into the list form. By default, it is always what type, sir? The return type is always what? Tuple. Default return type is tuple, sir. Remember this one, sir. Any explanation after this? Is the clear? Yes, man. Okay, that's all. Sir, what is the next cinema we require to talk about? Take a bit very special case. Sir, after this we cover, sir, how your function can return multiple values. What about return type? How you can store all those return values in the form of tuple with the small examples we are covering, sir. Okay, sir. Now, what is the next cinema we require to talk? A bit special care. Take a bit special care, sir. Very important. A bit confusion topic. Make sure you should aware of arguments. Again, what is this types of arguments? Sir, how many types of arguments are there? Here, do you know in Python more flexibility you people can able to get which was not there in the other languages. Remember that. Sir, in Python more flexibility by default will be there now, which were not there in the other languages, right? Okay. Sir, how many types of arguments are there? Just observe that. Sir, here you people should aware. There are, if I can take def of f1 of a comma b, regarding a comma b, sir. Okay, somebody is there. Next, I want to call this f1 by passing 10 comma 20. Do you know this a and b are by default considered as formal arguments. Arguments are formal parameters. Sir, somewhere you may heard about this one, formal parameter. Under this 10 and 20 by default considered as actual arguments. Regarding by default considered actual arguments. Observe that actual arguments like this, right? So a and b by default considered as formal parameters or formal arguments. 10 and 20 by default considered as actual parameters, right? So while passing, there are multiple types of actual arguments which are allowed in Python. There are multiple types, different types of arguments are allowed, sir. How you can, what types are there? Just a legend. Types of arguments. What is the first one, sir? Positional argument. Can you please spell out, sir? What is the first one? Positional arguments. Second category, sir, keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Second one, keyword arguments. Third possibility, sir, default arguments. Fourth one, sir, variable length arguments. Variable length arguments like this, right? Are you getting? Sir, what is the first one? Positional arguments. Second one, keyword arguments. third one default arguments, fourth one variable length arguments. Remember that, sir. Sir, these are 4 types of arguments are allowed in the Python, sir. In the next session, sir, while going for big application, yes, sir, these arguments we are keep on repeatedly we are using. That's why make sure, sir, compulsory you have to inject in your mind. Sir, by default, what arguments we are using? Positional arguments only. That's why we are not required to discuss much more about positional. Keyword arguments we are going to discuss. Default arguments, variable length arguments we can discuss, right? Sir, in Java we have where argument methods are there. The people who are coming from Java background, where argument methods are there. That where argument methods in Java already there in the Python, sir. Sir, that thing is by default considered as where variable length arguments. How you can able to do that? How you can able to use all? We will discuss. After this is the clear, sir. Total how many types of arguments are there? Respond, man. Why you are silent? Total how many types of arguments are there? 4. What the first one? Positional. Second one, keyword. Third one, default. Fourth ones are variable arguments. Okay, like. So now let me go for positional arguments. Are you getting? Positional arguments, right? Sir, these are the arguments which are passed to the method or passed to the function. Sir, exactly in the correct positional order. Are you getting? Correct positional order like this, right? Sir, I'm taking df of, assume that sub of a comma b. Assume that, sir, df of sub of a comma b. Sir, just I'm taking print of a minus b. Just have a look once, sir. Forget about indentation, right? Sir, now I want to call that sub. Sub. Then do you know 10 comma 20 or otherwise 100 comma 50 I'm taking, sir. Can you please tell 100 will be assigned to which variable? 100 will be assigned to which variable, sir? A. And 50 will be assigned to which variable, sir? B. Remember that, B. So in which order we provided, in the same order only for these variables will be assigned. Sir, this type of arguments are by default considered. Sir, this type of arguments are positional arguments. Sir, in the case of positional argument, okay, make sure, sir, the number of arguments and the position of arguments must be matched. Okay, must be matched. If we change the position, then automatically the results may be changed, sir. Remember this one. If you change the order, then the result by default will be changed. Observe that. Observe a bit very carefully, sir. Here I'm taking, this is about my thing. Sir, now have a look once. If I can take some, what is the answer by default? We are going to get 50 is the answer. Correct. Sir, by mistake, first I'm taking 50, and then next I'm taking 100, sir. First I'm taking 50, next I'm taking 100. Can you please tell, either output will be changed or not? Yes, definitely the output by default got changed. So, in the positional argument, the number of arguments, the order of arguments, both must be matched, sir. By mistake, if there is a change, then if there is a change in the order, then automatically, do you know, sir, we will get a different results. By mistake, if the number of arguments are different, assume here only 2, but I'm passing 3. Immediately, sir, Python will give left and right. Are you getting? Sub takes 2 positional arguments. What is this word? Anyone can you please read? 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Sub takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Is it clear? Yes. Are you able to understand, right? What is the positional argument? Sir, the number of arguments is important. The number of arguments is important. And the position of arguments is also important, sir. Remember, sir, whatever general we are using, these arguments are nothing but positional arguments. Are you getting? Next, let me go for keyword arguments. Are you getting? Second one is keyword arguments, right? Sir, keyword arguments, more interesting things, sir. Okay, here order is not important. Remember that order is not important. You can pass in any order, no problem. Python is going to consider that because you are specifying the value by keyword. You are specifying the value by keyword. That's why no problem at all, sir. Okay, how you can able to do that? Just very simple. I'm taking. Have a look once, sir. Another small example. Once you are seeing the example, then you can able to see what is the meaning of keyword argument, right? Sir, we can pass argument value by keyword, that is by parameter name. Such type of arguments are by default considered as what? Keyword arguments. Sir, just observe. I have one method is there. Sir, which method is there, sir? Name, comma, message I'm passing. Just have a look once, sir. How many arguments are there? Can you please spell out? How many arguments are there? Two arguments are there, sir. Sir, now I want to, sir, pass print of hello, comma, hello, name, comma, next and after that message. Hello, name, comma, message. Hello, Durga, good morning. Hello, Ravi, good evening. Something like that. You can customize the name and you can customize the message also. No problem. Itself is acceptable. Clear, right? Okay. Sir, now how I can call this one? How you can call this one? Sir, very simple. Very simple. I'm calling wish of first which argument? First which argument? Which argument it is expecting? Name. Second, which one? Message. What I want to take is, okay, name is equal to Durga. Name is equal to Durga. So the value name is nothing but Durga. Sir, message is equal to good morning. Like this I'm taking, sir. Message is equal to good morning. So we are passing the value by parameter name. By parameter name. That's a by keyword. That's why these arguments are by default considered keyword arguments. Remember, if it is the case, you are telling directly, "Hey boss, good morning," is allowed for message. Durga is allowed for name. You are telling like that. Then the order is not important. You can take in any order acceptable, no problem at all, sir. Assume that, sir, this one I want to take. This one I want to take. First message I'm taking. Comma, sir, name I'm taking. Can you please tell, is there any difference in the output? I respond. Is there any difference in the output? No, because you are telling, in any order you can pass, no problem at all. But message, good morning, name is nothing but like this, compulsory. Now have a look once. Are you getting? In both cases, am I getting the same output or not? Hello Durga, good morning. Hello Durga, good morning. Something like we are going to get. Sir, such type of arguments are by default considered keyword arguments. Sir, in this case, order is important or not important? Order is important or not important? Order is not important. Remember that. But number of arguments is important or not? Number of arguments is important or not? Yes, compulsory, man. It's expecting 2. Compulsory you require to pass 2. That's why number of arguments is important, but the order is not important. But if you consider earlier one, do you know positional argument? Sir, order is important. Number of arguments also important. Okay. Now everyone got the basic idea. What is the meaning of keyword arguments? Why the word keyword? Because you are passing the values by keyword. Keyword means parameter name. That's why it is considered keyword arguments. Okay, that's all. So now let me go for very important terminology, right? And small twist is there, sir. Here, what is that a twist? What is that a twist, sir? Very simple, sir. We can use both the positional arguments and keyword arguments. We can use both the positional arguments and the keyword arguments both together simultaneously. No problem at all. Okay, no issue at all. Happily you can pass. Sir, now I'm taking here. Just have a look once, sir. Message is Durga. Next name is Durga. Name itself is I'm taking Durga, comma, message is equal to good morning, like that. Sir, now can you please tell what is the output by default we are going to get, sir? Is it valid or not? Respond. Is it valid or not? Error. Due to comma? Why, man? Oh, thank you. Who is telling that? First comma? Yes, Vedant Tiwari. Okay, well, Ajit Singh. Yes, is it valid or not? Valid or not? Right? Now, what is the problem? Sir, Durga, is it positional argument or keyword argument? Is it a positional argument or keyword argument? Array first one, man, positional, because I'm not using any keyword. That's why positional argument. Sir, positional argument is associated to name. What is the next one? Message. message is the this is a positional or keyword argument. Second one is the keyword argument. Now from this method call or function call, you should aware, sir, both the positional arguments and keyword arguments happily we can use, no problem at all, sir. Yes, okay, well, now take a bit very special care. Sir, perfectly it's going to work. Again, perfectly it's going to work, no problem at all. So, hello Durga, good morning, like, sir, it's going to work. But now my question is, think a bit carefully, sir. Think a bit very carefully, very carefully. I'm taking same thing only, just let me swap the order. First one, good morning, message, good morning. Sir, like I'm taking. Can you please tell, is it valid or not? Huh? What's the problem, man? You are explicitly specifying message. You are explicitly specifying message. Then this value by default considers for the message. Then automatically, what is the remaining? Name. That's why it is going to consider this one for the name. Yes, is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? That's what you people should aware. Remember that's all. If you are using positional arguments and keyword arguments simultaneously, then first we should take positional arguments and then keyword arguments. Remember that, sir. First positional arguments and then keyword argument. By mistake, keyword arguments first and then positional argument, then Python will give left and right. Okay, directly it's going to tell positional argument follows keyword arguments, like, sir, positional arguments should be at the beginning. After that, keyword arguments by default will be there. Remember that? Remember what is the error by default we are getting? Positional argument follows keyword argument. Sir, after keyword argument, positional argument is coming, sir, which is invalid. Remember. Are you able to understand? Yes. If any number of arguments are there, compulsory positional arguments should be at the beginning. Divya, compulsory positional arguments at the beginning. After that, you can take any number of keyword arguments. I mean, the keyword arguments, no problem at all. So order must be important. All the positional arguments must be at the beginning only. That's all. Clear? Any explanation is required up to this? Sir, total how many types of arguments are there? Respond, man. How many types of arguments are there? 4. What is the first one? What is the first one? Positional arguments. What is the second one? Keyword arguments. Second one, keyword arguments. What is the third one? Default arguments. Last one, variable length arguments. Like, sir, positional arguments and keyword arguments, clear. In the case of positional arguments, number of arguments is important or not? Number of arguments is important or not? Yes. The position of arguments is also important. But in the case of keyword arguments, number of arguments is important, but position is not important. Remember that. Yes. Okay, clear? Now, what is the last, third one? What is the third? Can you spell out, sir? What is the third one? Default arguments. Sir, anyone can you please guess by seeing the word default arguments? What is the meaning of that? First, sir, you are telling something like bracket open, bracket close. What it means, man? Nothing. Okay? This is nothing but nothing. No arguments. No arguments is called default arguments. No. What is the meaning of default argument? Just by seeing the name. Correct. Good, Shubham. Yes, by simply seeing the name. What is the meaning of default argument? The default argument is very simple, sir. You can define default value. For our argument. Are you getting it? Such type of arguments are nothing but default arguments. We can define default value for the arguments. If you are passing the value, that value only will be considered. If you are not passing the value, then automatically it will consider the default argument. Remember that. If the default argument came in the picture, then the number of arguments is not required to match because default values are already there. Now take a bit very, very special care about this one. All this nonsense I don't want. Sir, name is equal to guest I'm taking. Sir, if you are not passing any name, by default is going to consider guest. Remember that, sir. So print of hello, hello. Next and after that name. Next and after that good evening. Like this I'm taking, sir. Good evening. Like I'm taking. Sir, now am I providing default value? Array, am I providing default value or not? Yes. What is the default value for name? The default value for name is a guest. Now let me take wish. Let me take wish of Durga. Wish of Durga. What is the answer we are going to get? Array, wish of Durga. What is the value? What is the answer we are going to get? Hello, Durga. Good morning. Yes, because I'm providing. Because I'm providing. If I'm not providing, then only default value will be considered. Have you observed, right? Syntax error. What is the mistake? Am I doing any mistake? Yes, man. Am I doing any mistake? Name is equal to name. Name is equal to guest like this. Here. hey, colon. Because these are the functions, right? Function call, colon by mistake. Okay. Now observe that. Hello, Durga. Good evening. Something like it's going to get. Clear? Okay. Now my question is just to take a bit very special care. Sir, I don't want to pass any value. I don't want to pass any value, sir. Just that's all. Wish. That's all. Okay. Now what is the output by default you are going to get? Hello, guest. Good evening. Clear, right? So if you are passing the value, then our provided value by default will be considered. If you are not passing the value, then only default value by default will be considered. Okay, remember that. Such type of arguments are by default considered default arguments. Clear? Yes, man. Any explanation is required? Okay. Now there is one small rules. Maybe there's a make sure. Now I'm taking name is equal to guest. Here just observe that. So now name is equal to guest. Message is equal to something like I'm passing, sir. Observe a bit very carefully. Here name is equal to guest, and then message like this I'm taking. Sir, hello name. Next and after that message like. Now acceptable I hope. Correct, right? Sir, name message like this I'm taking. Sir, what I'm taking? Wish of. Sir, I'm taking name. Okay, name is equal to Durga. Name is equal to Durga, or otherwise just Durga I'm taking. Name is equal to Durga. Okay, guest name message is equal to like we can able to take. But here one small twist is there, sir. What is that twist is? Observe that very carefully this point. After default arguments, we should not take non-default arguments. Remember that. After default arguments, we should not take non-default arguments. Remember that. Non-default argument should be last argument. Non-default, I mean default argument should be last argument. What it means, sir? 1 minute have a look once. 1 minute while calling, or otherwise while like take a bit very special care. What is the meaning of that? Is it valid or not? First this method call. Have you observed, right? Is it valid or not? First this method call, observe that. Am I doing any mistake? Here just declare the method. Observe that. What is that error? Non-default argument follows default argument. Non-default argument follows default argument. Remember this one. Are you able to understand that? Non-default argument follows default argument. Sir, default argument should be last one only. Should be last one only. Remember that. Okay. Sir, message is equal to sir, good morning. Like this I'm taking. Sir, can you please observe? Here, what will happen, sir? Perfectly valid or not? Perfectly valid or not? Sir, can you please tell how many default arguments are there? Both are default arguments, sir. Both are default arguments, no problem at all. Sir, but make sure after default argument, non-default arguments we are not allowed to take. Default argument, if you want to take, compulsory, it should be last one only. Remember that, okay? Sir, suppose my requirement is, sir, I want a name. Next and after that, I want a marks. Next and after the message, like age, like this I want, sir. So total, my function can take 4 arguments. Legend, what is the meaning of that? My function can take four arguments, right? Sir, name, if you are not providing, then I want a guest. I want a guest, sir. If a name you are not providing, then automatically just you can take a guest. Marks, if you are not providing, then you can take you can take by default sir 60 or 50 marks. By default you can take 50. Next, and after that, message and age, no, compulsory you should specify the message, or otherwise sir marks must be compulsory. Next, a message default, sir default message good morning, like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. Can you please tell how you can declare a method with this type of requirement? Anyone, can you please tell? Name, you can provide default value. Marks, no default value, compulsory you require to pass. Next, a message, you can take anything. Sir, like now my requirement is, anyone, can you please tell, sir, what I have to take? In which order I have to take? Yes, sir, marks and age, in any order you can take. In any order you can take, no problem at all. Sir, marks I'm taking, comma, age I'm taking. But these two arguments should be last arguments only. Remember that. Okay, name is equal to guest, comma, sir, message is equal to good morning, like this, right? So that's all. Then some people may get the doubt, sir, if you are giving some different order, how you can able to use? Sir, in the method, the order is not important here. While using, you have to take care about your order. Sir, printer, I want a name pass, name student name. Okay, like now you can use sir student name. What about its value? Name, sir. Okay, student name. Next, and after that, student, in any order you can take. Student age is nothing but age. Next, sir, what is the next one, sir? Student marks. Okay, in any order you can use, no problem at all. Marks, like this you can take. Next, sir, wish message like this. Sir, wish message like message I'm taking, sir, here message like sir message. So don't worry about, sir, here while using based on your programming requirement you can use, but while declaring compulsory default arguments should be last arguments only. Everyone can able to understand? Yes, man. Okay, now take a bit very special care. How you can pass? Okay, you can pass either positional arguments or keyword argument. If you are going to pass positional arguments, order you have to maintain. If you are passing keyword arguments, no problem at all, sir. But make sure rules are very clear. Sir, positional arguments should be at the beginning. Next, and after that only keyword arguments will come in the picture. Okay, so like what I'm taking, can you please sir call some which method? Okay, positional arguments I'm passing. Marks 100 marks. Age some 48 I'm taking, sir, 48. Name just I'm passing Durga, that's all. I'm not passing any message. Is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? Yes, 100 will become marks, 48 will become age, name will become Durga. Next up, message default value, no problem at all. Regarding student name Durga, student age 48, student marks 100, message is nothing but good morning. Okay, like you can take. Suppose I'm taking, sir, age is equal to 48, age is equal to 48. Next, and after that marks is equal to 100. That's all. Is it valid or not? Yes, is it valid or not? No problem at all. Is it valid or not? Valid, because keyword arguments, right? Keyword arguments in any order you can pass, no problem. Student name, have you observed, right? May say student name, guest, and so on. Because you are not passing anything. That's why like this, right? Sir, anyone having the doubt? Sir, I want to use positional argument. I want to use keyword argument. Sir, if you want to use both, sir, compulsory positional argument should be first. Sir, what is that positional argument? Sir, just assume 100 is my positional argument. Next, and after that, in the remaining keyword arguments in any order you can take, no problem at all. Age is equal to, sir, some 48. Next, and after that, sir, message is equal to, sir, bad morning. Okay, like I'm taking sir. Observe that. Is it going to work or not? Is it going to work or not? Yes, okay. Sir, like by default you are going to, no problem, that's all, sir. This is about, don't get confused, right? Because these loopholes, you people may feel confusion, but anyway, just all these loopholes compulsory you should aware. Positional arguments should be first. Are getting positional arguments should be first. So next and after that keyword arguments you can take. Next, while declaring, if you want to declare any default arguments, compulsory default arguments should be last only you require to declare. Next, while calling here only you have only two things you require to take. Either positional argument you can take or otherwise keyword argument. That's all. Sir, any method call? Sir, which is the mystery kind of thing? Anyone having that? Please let me know so that I can explain. Yes. Vedanta var yes, pass by value only. Yes, I will discuss in the OOPS concept what is the difference between those. Don't worry. Don't think that much level, but default pass by value. Clear up to this? Yes, man. Okay, that's all. Total how many types of arguments are available? 4 arguments, right? 4 arguments. What is the first one? Positional, keyword, default. Last one is last one itself is what? What is the last one? Last one is variable length arguments. Okay, remember that. So if we declare marks as the keyword and age as the positional, then what will be the consideration in arguments? Sir, can you please tell? Divya is asking this doubt. Can you please answer this? Sir, if we declare marks as keyword and the age as positional, then what will be the considered in arguments? Okay, remember that. What about your requirement? Marks as keyword argument, and the age as positional argument. Okay, age is coming after marks. That's why compulsory you have to specify age also. Yeah, the keyword argument only. Are you getting? Yeah, the keyword argument only you have to specify. Okay, suppose yes, your requirement, I hope I can able to understand. If we declare marks as keyword argument, marks is equal to 100. Next and after that age 48 I'm taking. Okay, that's all. Next, anyway, the remaining two are default arguments, no problem at all. Observe that. Observe, Divya. Have you observed, right? Can you please positional argument follows keyword argument? Then how you can solve these problems? Only one way you can solve this problem. Only one way you can solve this problem is one. Here better to take this one also, age also, yeah, the keyword argument. Are you getting? Age also, yeah, the keyword argument. Then the problem by default will be solved. Next, by mistake, if I'm taking 48 first, and then marks is equal to 48 first, and then marks, is it going to consider or not? Can you please observe? Yes, because it is also treated as marks value, because first one got matched. Now you are providing second value also for the marks. It is the problem. Clear? That's all. Okay, so these are the things what you people should prepare. Okay, next, compulsory that comparison table. Okay, better to prepare. Okay, like that's all. Just I'm stopping the session. Just tomorrow we will continue for the remaining, sir.